Hey boys, Friday here. This is the part where you clap. A few weeks ago, I was bumming around like a little gamer goblin watching the new season of Love is War, and then a thought dawned upon me. Why do I even think this is funny? In fact, why does everyone seem to find this show funny? But maybe it's not that deep. Maybe a show can just bring joy to your day through wacky, zany shenanigans, and there's no real way to properly overanalyze that into words through one long-winded, pretentious video essay. I mean, what am I gonna do? Spend a week trying to scientifically prove what makes Love is War funny on an objective, visual, coherent, and subtextual level? In order to properly identify what makes Love is War funny, we need to have a common definition of what a joke is and how it functions. If you ask Google, you'll find that a joke is a thing that someone says to cause amusement or laughter, especially a storyline with a funny punchline. This wet blanket of a definition is about as useful as the disapproval of your stepfather, or a single can of Axe body spray at an anime expo. But after I'd perused the internet for further questioning, as well as my brother who's taken an improv class, I was given one repeated explanation. A joke is derived from a situation with an expected outcome that later generates satisfaction through means of an unexpected outcome. Okay, so you know what a joke is, but what is Love is War? Well, it's a preposterously high production anime by A1 Pictures about Kaguya-sama and Miyuki Shirogane. They're both incredibly respected leaders of the student council. This resulted in the two being incredibly intelligent, incredibly prideful, and incredibly into each other. A lesser writer would use this as the base for a romantic comedy that loses its audience in the second half due to its poorly paced will they won't they storylines and excessive melodrama. Toradora. But in Love is War, the two protagonists' intelligence and ego are elevated to such an extent that they already know that the other has a crush on them. And on top of this, they're so painfully prideful that instead of admitting their own feelings, they'd rather partake in a psychological game of 5D chess to trick each other into accidentally confessing. This cacophony of emotional invulnerability and manipulation fabricates an unbelievably reliable joke-making format. But there's one massive factor when it comes to the comedic value of a joke. You know him, you love him, it's pacing! Having a comprehensive discussion about pacing can feel a lot like trying to describe what world peace tastes like. It may be too conceptually nebulous to quantify, but damn it, I'll try! Love is War's pacing is crisp. Jokes run at the pace of a Sam Raimi bullet train, while simultaneously giving you time to belly laugh at every single quip. And even though Love is War's jokes don't miss, it wouldn't even matter if one flopped because you've already been served 5 more by the time you finish complaining. Friday, sure the jokes don't get stale, but that setting's gonna age like expired milk, right? Incorrect. And it's all thanks to the format. It's impossible to get bored while watching the show because it literally never looks the same. These romantic disputes have looked like episodes of Death Note, dating simulators, and literal court cases. This makes physically watching Love is War funny on a fundamental level because you genuinely don't know what you're about to be watching, therefore creating an infinite number of formats with an infinite number of unexpected results. Comedyception, humor incarnate, an ever-changing anime briskly jogging at the speed of 70 miles an hour. These perfectly polished punchlines are only further advanced by the expertly written characters. Aw, Friday's gonna do another character study. You're gonna cry, piss your pants maybe, whine about the fabulously flat characterization of Eren Yeager. No! Okay, give me like 5. Not only can Love is War make us laugh, but it can also make us cry at the hands of its character writing. I thought that Yui Shigami was gonna be another bog standard shut-in weeb self-insert. I did not think that I'd be bawling my eyes out during his tournament festival arc. But I did, because I care about his feelings. I sympathize with his backstory, and I understand why it brought him to become the compassionate, loyal, and socially inept person he grew up to be. The show's funny because you feel like you're laughing with your friends. You understand everything about the characters, which makes you entertained and feel at home just watching them screw around. The characterization creates incredibly unique opportunities for punchlines that just aren't possible without the arsenal of inside jokes at the show's disposal. And the excellent acting performances would simply feel unfinished without the masterful art and animation. That's right, boys, it's time for my TED Talk! A lot of Anitubers like to mindlessly throw artistic hot takes into the ever-expanding void of YouTube, but I'm not like other girls. When I'm not writing these videos or at the job that actually makes me money, I'm something of an animator myself. That being said, Love is War's character designs are spectacular. They're tailor-made to fit every reaction image a Redditor needs, and versatile enough to allow for plenty of movement for various punchlines. A lot of people don't realize how obnoxious, overcomplicated designs are to animate, but Love is War strikes an excellent balance that not only grants excellent artwork, but also some of the most technically impressive animated sequences to come out of TV anime as a whole. Like, did you see how well rotoscoped those arm flaps were? The virtual camera assists the impact of these spear frames so well, In short, the animation works in harmony with the written and auditorial comedy to create an experience that's undeniably superior. I really enjoy how much the vocal and animated performances juxtapose each other in scenes with deadpan delivery and outlandish expressions. And the visual direction is just about perfect. And not to get on my animator high horse, but I feel like compositing gets left out of the conversation of this show's visuals, as well as anime as a whole. For those of you who've touched grass, compositing is the post-production lighting effects that are added to an animated sequence outside outside of traditional cell shading. It might not bug you when a show is bad compositing, but you can feel it when it's good. Some of these punchlines really heavily rely on the quality of its compositing, and it always delivers. Also, there's been this trend lately of using really heavy white light sources in anime compositing. I don't know why everyone keeps doing it. It just washes out all the colors and makes everything look less pretty. Like, where's my value rate? Give me some contrasting colors. Don't composite like this. Composite like Love is War. Editing is really important. When it comes to the medium of film, it's one of the most valuable traits to have when telling a joke. And Love is War understands this very thoroughly. They don't just call it a day after chucking top-notch vocal performances and expressive animation directly into your face hole. They're gonna add a meme filter just so you laugh harder. It's really rare to see an anime that relies this much on post-production editing, but I think that's just what makes it so funny. It's just another unexpected result in a long chain of inconceivable events that result in the viewer laughing hysterically each episode. With all these various components working in harmony, this Death Note-esque romantic battle of the minds creates an unadulterated comedic experience that I'd argue is yet to be beaten by any other anime. While it's incredibly entertaining to watch Kaguya and Shirogane tactfully plot increasingly ridiculous procedures, if that was all the show had going for it, I'm not sure if it'd reach its true comedic potential. There needs to be another factor to shake up the results of each plotline, something to make each episode truly unexpected. There needs to be a genuine catalyst of chaos that's unequivocally unpredictable, something that's very essence derives conflict and humor. Something or someone. From a comedic and writing perspective, the character of Chika Fujiwara might just be the most genius strategic play that Aka Akasaka could possibly make. He creates two protagonists that have an extreme baseline intelligence and perception, while including a character with such an amass of emotional and baseline intelligence that nearly every conflict is rendered useless by her hand. Chika Fujiwara steamrolls through subtext. She incinerates the very ideals of our protagonist. And the worst part is that she's not even wrong. She doesn't play complex mind games in order to get what she wants. She's so unapologetically honest that she bends the plot to her will just by being emotionally efficient. This was the final piece that certifies Love is War as an objectively funny certified hood classic that genuinely is difficult to find unfunny. This educational expedition taught me a lot about digging deeper on the media that I care about. Stepping outside of my usual forte of character dissection taught me a lot about how to properly analyze media that I don't completely understand. But the real Friday approved moral of the week is that next time you're on Twitter and a contrarian says that your favorite anime is mid, just scientifically prove why they're wrong.